Hello, it's me, fddcsjxk. Wanted to remind everybody that I'm having a tournament. It's the Mixed Based Open. You can sign up now through the 12th of September at challenge.com/MBO2021. As you can see, there's quite a nice prize pool, so I recommend everybody to sign up. It's free. Just go do it. Well, today we've got a match between Klozo and fddcsjxk. That's me. On Shadows Chase You Endlessly. I talked about this game just a little bit in the strategy channel of the Discord, but I wanted to go through it because I actually am really happy about how I played this game, and I think that I would have won this game if I just knew more. If I just knew more stuff, then I could have won, but we'll get to it. This is okay, so my opening is standard, but Klozo very importantly forgot to move his black boat on the first turn. So he is not properly blocking the top island for me. And that's actually really critical. Getting these properties early and easily spells bad news. And I was really at this point, when I realized that he hadn't moved this black boat, I really started wondering what I was supposed to do to take advantage of that, because I realized that was a big mistake. I think what I ended up doing, I didn't want to commit too hard to it because I was not familiar with what I was going to do, so I moved this infantry up here because he can't block this from getting within capture range of the airport next turn. If he puts it here, then I'll move the infantry here, and if he moved it all the way here, then I'll just move the infantry up, and then I'll be able to capture the airport next turn. It gets me really early airport on this map, and airports are quite good here. So I was happy that I felt like I was doing a good job of taking advantage of Klozo's early mistake. It's a little strange that I get the first tank when he had such a funds lead. He could have got the first tank if he wanted it, I guess, but maybe he thought that other things were just more important. So I got a recon, which is also a little strange, but I was pretty happy with this in the end. My plan with it was obviously to continue to block this lower island capture. Looking back at the numbers, I probably shouldn't have, because I think maybe I realized, yeah, I definitely realized that he could have built a tank down here, but this was what I was thinking, is that I have this early airport and he doesn't. So I can build a battle copter next turn, and if he's building a tank down here, then he's not going to build an anti-air up here. So that was sort of the idea with this recon, was that I can maybe stop him from getting the and stop him from getting the airport, and I can force a reaction. And the reaction that it ends up forcing is not the one that I wanted. It's really kind of strange. He builds an artillery down here, which I think is really, I mean, it's not bad, but it's weird. And you can see that he hesitates because he knows that if he commits these infantry forward, then I'm going to move forward with this recon. And as it stands, I'm not actually that afraid of that artillery. And so I start capping the command tower. I move forward with the recon. I start playing this weird blocking game with the black boat for the artillery to not be able to move into the island. This is a really good movement because I'm not able to block the artillery any further with the black boat. He builds a second artillery and an anti-air. So this was what really tripped me up, I think, is that I wasn't expecting this turn where he would have both. I was really expecting to have a tank, and then he couldn't. If he had a tank, then I don't feel like this would have been a possible build order. And having these two artillery, I think, is really strange. It makes this game a lot harder for me. I'm not good at dealing with artillery. That's something that I need to work on. But I do have an income lead. I have like I feel like I have a unit composition lead because at least I did until he built this anti-air. I felt that my composition was maybe a little bit better. Maybe this recon makes it a little bit worse. So he still doesn't have this airport. I've blocked this for quite a number of turns with the recon, just the threat of it. And that I'm pretty happy about. And this is kind of dooming the recon, but I get this attack in, and he still didn't start capping the airport this turn. I feel like it's done enough economic damage. I feel like maybe it wasn't 4 turns that wasn't doing anything. How many turns was this? When did I build this? So you couldn't have got this turn. I built the recon here. So how many turns was I actually blocking? So this is 1. Maybe this isn't that long. It feels like it's forever. But it's actually only like 2 turns. But I mean, delaying that airport 2 turns is kind of a big deal. I could have probably gone without this recon. I don't think that this got me as much as it felt like it did. I felt pretty happy with this, but so up here I made this attack with an infantry onto the city infantry because I literally just wanted something to happen. I just wanted to force something because I felt like he had a lot of resources committed down here. And I got both of these tanks up here. He's only got 1. You know, I felt like I could be kind of ready to fight when he's got all these units down here that he's using. And I think something does happen. Maybe not something really interesting because of this attack, but yeah, he shoots. Okay, so yeah, I do delay this another couple of turns because of the attack. This was probably a mistake. I don't really know what I was thinking here. This is almost certainly a mistake. Being in range of both of these artillery is just giving up this tank for free, but him having a 3 HP tank is also kind of like giving up a tank for free in its own way. So I thought this was a really good attack onto this infantry. This is maybe not as good, but I have the backup of these 3 tanks now. Maybe this is what I was thinking, is that this tank is kind of backing this tank up, because if this artillery fires, then I can hit it with this. The anti-air doesn't exactly provide a huge threat. But I have a pretty big income lead at this point, and I think that I was just looking to push it. Kind of a weird decision for him to go all the way down here, but I guess moving this tank here, it protects his stuff in a powerful way. I think it was a mistake for him not kill this tank. So I move this back. I get 2 cities on the bottom island, which I think is a kind of a big deal. Okay, this is a pretty good attack, I feel. A good turn. I built this medium tank because I have this income lead. I don't know what to do with it. And looking back on the game in total, this medium tank doesn't really do me any good at all. And I think that if I were to play it again, then I probably just would have built like an anti-air in this situation, which is a weird thing, but I like anti-air against these mechs because it just wipes mechs off the board. Mechs can hit it hard, but I want something that's able to like directly attack mechs. I don't even know what the damage is here. I feel like this is too much economic damage. Yeah, like this isn't quite able to kill. This is. It's a big deal. I suppose this will be able to kill on a lot of terrains, but mechs on, like, it's just, it's big, it's slow, it doesn't do the things that I need it to do. Even like a rocket might have been better, because the rocket would have been able to annihilate these mechs, which is one thing that I'm having a lot of trouble with, and the rockets are also decent against the artillery. It's a weird join. But at this point, I was going through a couple of strategic options that I had, and like I had attacks I could have made onto this that weren't like really bad. Like I could have driven this over and then hit like the artillery with one of these, but I didn't like any of them, and I think that after deliberating a bit, I wanted to mostly make a defensive play. And so I come up with this formation, which I liked a lot. I thought that this was a good time to just go back and regroup. He had these 2 artillery, which were looking really scary. This anti-air has a weird movement pattern from the space. It can't hit the battlecopter, so hitting the mech seemed pretty good. So this 7 HP infantry ends up playing like a big role in this game, in deciding this game, in fact. This is the thing that I was talking about in the strategy channel. So I make this move, I hit the mech. I have like a pretty defensive formation. And the idea is that this this medium tank is protecting everything, and my idea is that if he hits this with the anti-air, then he can't make any other meaningful attacks, and on this side he doesn't really have any good attacks to make. So he can't really do anything. But what I didn't account for is the fact that this mech is able to just completely destroy this infantry. I just didn't know. Like, that's a huge hit. It's like a full HP mech against a 7 HP infantry on a city. 7 HP infantry on a city is like... This guy looks like an infantry, so I don't think that's possible. But, and I mean, like, statistically it says that it should survive, but it just doesn't. So I don't know what the deal with that is. This is something that I thought was more close to reality. Like, even if I'd used the damage calculator, there wasn't necessarily a guarantee that I would have properly assessed that this guy would just die. But he did just die, and because he just dies, this anti-air is able to go and kill my battlecopter, which is not any good. And then this formation just completely falls apart. I gave up way too much this turn. He builds this bomber. I'm only a little bit ready for it. I had this rocket, but without the various other threats on the board, there's just not a whole lot that I have anymore. Like, I just gave up too many units there. I don't know how I'm going to protect this rocket from the bomber. This medium tank hasn't done any good at all this game. This was a misplay. Like, I literally didn't want to do that. I just misclicked there. Second medium tank, I don't know. I'm desperate at this point. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm tilted because I think at this point I can say that I'm tilted because I just didn't understand what was going to happen. In that turn, I felt like I made a decision based on like premises that were just false. I activate super thinking that maybe I can like get enough to justify it, but I don't. That's the long and short of it. Do not get enough to justify it. Because he'll just super right back, and he does. And like, I think it was at this point I decided like I don't really want to play Hawke anymore. Hawke's neat. I don't think that Hawke is bad, but this mirror match feels bad because I can't. I feel like if I don't literally win off of my super, then I end up in a situation like this where he just gets way more out of it, and he does get way more out of it. I'm not able to do anything. I think I just concede here. I might not. I don't like giving up. But I know that I give up soon. Yeah, like there's just nothing left for me. He built this Neo tank. Yeah, there's no point in fighting anymore. Like that, it feels so bad. Like this is I just thought that this was a much more powerful defensive formation than it actually was. Because I needed something, like, I would have been totally fine if I had known just moving this infantry off of here and not getting this cap, because this cap wasn't really that important. And just putting the medium tank there instead. And that would have probably saved me a lot of grief. I don't know how hard. Let's see here, damage calculator. Yeah, like that. He couldn't have really made that attack. I could have put this a lot more aggressively. I probably could have driven this into the formation sooner, as long as it existed sooner. I think that it existed a few turns. Maybe not. It's just too slow. It didn't get to do anything. Yeah, but I mean, I learned something. I learned that the mechs hit infantry on cities really, really hard. Hawke mirror feels really bad. I don't like it. I'll probably just play Sasha from now on. I don't think that Sasha versus Javier is. I don't feel that it can feel this bad. Where it's like, I think that if I was playing Sasha in this game, there's no doubt that I would have won because I would have had a huge amount more income. I would have been able to afford a lot more units because of how many turns I had, like a pretty substantial income lead, truthfully. But I mean, you'll learn. It's cool. I'm not. I mean, obviously, I'm upset about this miscalculation, but I'm not. Like I said, I do feel like overall I played really well. There's just something that I didn't know, and I lost because of it, and that feels really bad. I don't feel like I precisely lost because of screen looking reasons. Like I don't feel like I made like a super significant tactical error. There's maybe some disputes about that. Like I don't think that this medium tank did me that much good, obviously. And I talked a little bit about the recon, and the recon was disputable for sure. But my formations in the middle of the game, I think that I did good work with. That's about it. I don't have a whole lot else to go over. Good games, klozo. Definitely, I won't make the mistake of expecting infantry to stand up to mechs like that again. I'm having a tournament. The mixed space open. Sign up for it, will ya? It's challenge.com/MVO2021. Sign ups are free. It's a $400 prize pool. Check it out. Good luck, everybody.